There's statistical data to show that you could be the most upright citizen, educated, got all your degrees and everything else in the world. Statistically, you're still gonna make less than your white counterpart. You're still gonna have less opportunity than your white counterpart. You're still gonna get pulled over by the police more than your white counterpart.
Life is not hard. People complicate life so much. People treat you how you treat yourself. If people see us in the street and we don't treat each other as brother, right? Guess what they gonna do? They're gonna have less respect for us.
Insound.com.
All right, y'all, welcome. We are back with another episode of Sankofa Sessions. I am Kofi Annan.
Hang on the mistletoe. Oh, yeah. It's Christmas.
This is where you're supposed to go. And I am...
I know, but I'm in the Christmas spirit. Why not be in the Christmas spirit? And I am Kofi D. And
right.
welcome.
If you can't tell, we're a little lighter today because we've been taking part in some libations brought to you by my friend El Dorado. By the way, El Dorado, Guyanese rum, it's excellent. We celebrating Christmas today. We're not sponsored by El Dorado, but maybe they'll see the podcast and maybe they'll sponsor us one of these days.
Yeah, and guess what? Even if the libations weren't present, we always going to bring the truth and try to connect the diaspora together when it comes to our discussions that are thought-provoking. But hey, guess what, Kofi? It's Christmas time.
It's Christmas time. Maybe Christmas
time in Hollis, Queens. Come on, you got to finish the line.
Oh, man.
Mama's cooking.
Pork and beans.
We're going to go with that, right? we going to go with that, right? My favorite Christmas song, people have Christmas. They love Christmas music. I definitely would say Boys II Men, Let It Snow, of course, is a classic. But that Death Row Christmas CD, I remember my dad used to get a Columbia Music House. Remember that? Columbia
Music
House.
The little what you call it? The
CDs.
The CDs used to come to the house.
You get a little coupon.
Yeah.
And one of the CDs that came, I think when I was in elementary school was Death Row Christmas, and it's like Santa Claus, ooh, going straight to the ghetto. And that was one of my favorite Christmas songs. What about yours?
Man, I gotta tell you, I never really got into Christmas stuff, period. I'm not enough to have like a favorite Christmas song. I'll be honest with you, I don't hate Christmas, but I just never really cared for it. You know what it is though? I think I grew up really, really, really poor. To the point where, like, sorry to depress y'all, but like I grew up so like Christmas was always downplayed in my house. So it was like gifts, you may or may not get them, So it's like my mother was always kind of like, let's just get through Christmas, and she's still like that to this day, honestly.
Yeah.
So like I never really grew up like celebrating Christmas like that. So I just kind of I never really got into the Christmas spirit.
Okay.
So, sorry.
No, it's fine.
It is what it is,
I thought you was about to say, I don't do Christmas, I do Kwanzaa. I'm about to say, like I said.
Christmas is for the white man.
Hey, look, I'm not touching that. All I'm going to say is this, because, people are going to get mad at me. I have a disdain for Kwanzaa. I have a true disdain for Kwanzaa. It is nothing with
what you got against Kwanzaa, man?
Let me finish, because I know people are going to get mad because I say I have a disdain for Kwanzaa, and I'm not trying to be a shock jock. It is a personal, deeply rooted reason why I have this disdain for Kwanzaa. I appreciate the cultural heritage and everything, but I'm talking about me as an individual. If you know, if you grew up in the Richmond metro area, the Legba Folklore Society, shout out to them because I know they've been pushing this agenda and trying to move the ball forward when it comes to creating unity among the diaspora for many years. I think they're probably almost 40 years deep. They used to have a Kwanzaa festival at the Arthur Ashe Center over there by the Old Diamond, which is now Carmex Park. I think they're building over there. And if you know, my relative, my cousin, she used to own Ghana House on Harrison Street, on North Harrison Street in Richmond, over there by VCU. And she was set up as a vendor. So my dad and I would go there, and I'm like, man, I just got duck hunt. I don't want to sit here with these people dancing and banging on drums.
So you held it against
Yes.
Kwanzaa
Yes.
ever since then.
Yes.
It got seared into your memory.
Yes, it did. Because I would never go to another Kwanzaa festival. Because you know why? I want to play my Nintendo.
Man,
I'm being selfish.
You can go play all the duck hunt you want right now.
I know.
Except.
But if you celebrate it, I don't hate you. I'm just saying, I personally have a problem with Kwanzaa, and you can clip that. That's going to be the hashtag. Hashtag clip that. Right?
I never celebrated either one, honestly. I mean,
I don't know. I feel like
neither one of us seem to be that. Are you into Christmas?
Yes, I love Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I love Christmas. I think the most memorable Christmas I've ever had, besides my children, that's the political answer I got to say, right? And celebrating with them. The personal Christmas was celebrating Christmas in Ghana at 7 years old. So when I went, and shout out to my dad and shout out to my uncle and my aunt for making that opportunity great for me to go as a kid, you know. It was actually seeing how Christmas is celebrated. You know, in a lot of West African countries that were ruled by the British, they go to church. It's not commercialized. It is a very religious, family-oriented. Like, you go to church, you get the message, you eat, you sit down, you fellowship, and then the next day you have what's called Boxing Day. Boxing Day is when you get the gifts. I don't know.
Same in Guyana. Yep, same in Guyana.
Way?
Yep, we got Boxing Day over there too, because we also colonized by the British.
Hey, man.
We British colonizer buddies.
Oceans apart, but guess what? The common theme was we were colonized by the same people. Shout out to the colonizers or whatever of ancient history, right? We're not talking about the current ones. But Kofi, we have a heavy topic today, man. What's up?
Yeah, man, we getting into it?
Yeah, we might as well, man. Let's go ahead and do it, man.
Before we get into it, though, man, I think we got to touch on this a little bit because it's been all over the place.
Oh, Lord.
Diddy.
Can I say
the Diddy the Diddy documentary? Did you watch it?
I didn't, but can I just say?
Wait, how you not watch the?
Hold on, Kofi. Before we get into it, because I know this will be controversial. Number one, like and subscribe. Please do that on whatever platform you're on. YouTube Music, Spotify, whatever, Apple Music. Like and subscribe. Second, shout out to Resist Booksellers here in Petersburg, Virginia. If you have a reason to buy a book, buy it from a local bookstore. Support a local black business.
Great Christmas gifts.
Exactly. We always talk about it, but be about it. You could buy one book a year, and guess what? Our brother Demetrius would be happy if so many of you bought one book a year from a black bookstore. So the link is in the bio. Please support. Doesn't take much. Diddy. I saw Ray J got Diddy. But go ahead.
And it seemed like he was happy about it too. Ray J was like, "Yeah, man, Diddy got me too."
I don't.
No, man, the Diddy doc was crazy though.
I haven't watched it.
Okay, so I don't know how you've not watched the Diddy doc, but like it's everywhere. It's right now. Like, okay, so the thing that struck me was, I mean, we all know he did his dirt. You know, it was just, for me, the level of hate that 50's a hate ass dude, man. How much do you have to hate somebody to do a 4-part documentary on him? Like,
not much.
No, that takes some. That's like 20 years worth of hate compiled into you been carrying that your whole life to do a 4-part documentary on somebody, man.
You think so? I don't think
you hate a lot. I can't get on your bad side, man.
No, please. I am a pacifist. You know, I love peace. You know, peace in the Middle East. But I don't think it's easy. I think Diddy was low hanging fruit. He's already been beaten and bruised by the court system and by the court of public opinion. If I had people who were doing a documentary that already had footage of him in his most revealing private moments that didn't get paid, opportunity. And if I understand correctly, that's what happened. Like he didn't pay these people who had this footage because of, I guess, it just not happening. And guess what? Oh man, I don't like you, and you dropped your wallet. You think I ain't gonna take the money out your wallet and I don't like you?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, easy
So-
targets get hit.
Do you think he was behind the Pac and Biggie murders? That's basically what the documentary was insinuating. That's the on top of all of the rape and stuff like that. Like he was a serial rapist. But he also apparently was behind the murder of or at least connected to, inspired something the murder of Biggie and Pac.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm torn because.
Well,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I would say I'm torn because once again, another one of our quote unquote black heroes has been torn down. But I've also the school of philosophy of just because you're famous don't mean you're a leader. Because anybody can become famous, but yeah, your morals and values are what actually makes you. Just because I'm famous and I got money doesn't mean that I have a moral aperture to do the right things, right? So while I don't like to see another black person get torn down, if he's so morally wayward and did the things that are said,
he's definitely morally wayward.
Yeah. So then he's going to serve his time, right? I mean, the one thing about America, and clip this, is I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not saying they get it right all the time, but they find a way to get you if you keep acting up. I'm just being honest with you. If you keep pressing the system, you'll get away with it once or twice. But you keep on pressing that envelope, the American justice system will.
I mean, but he kind of really didn't, though. I mean,
he didn't.
The things that he was potentially gonna serve for was he could have got life. He ended up getting what, 4 years?
Yeah, I mean,
something like that.
He got charged with being a freak.
No, he got charged with racketeering. He got charged.
Having
the things that he actually, if he had got,
prostitution across straight lines.
well, that's what he got convicted of. But
Okay.
they were trying to charge him with like a whole bunch of other stuff that if he had gotten convicted of that, he would have served I think he would have served life.
Yeah.
So he kind of pretty much got away with it because most of the heaviest stuff he got off on. But I mean, if you look at the documentary, you like, how come he didn't get? You know what I'm saying? This is like, usually we complain about black men getting charged and getting convicted for stuff they didn't do. Mm-hmm. This is one of them instances where it's like, how'd y'all miss this?
Yeah, I mean,
how did Diddy and OJ, like literally like the two the two only black men
Shout out to Uncle Joe,
that you were like, why y'all ain't get these things?
I get it. I definitely do. I just one of the things that I would honestly say about the whole Diddy thing, and I didn't watch the documentary, and I think we talked about this in our private moments or whatever, is I don't tend to watch things that are popular in the court of public opinion because this is just a me thing. I feel like I need to let it die down there and watch it and create my own opinion. But when there's a lot of hype around things, I can be influenced because I hear certain things, so I'm letting it die down a bit. Diddy should have been charged for being a domestic abuser and maybe on some violent crimes, but I'll be honest with you, I just don't know if he was misdiagnosed because as a court case, like if it was the right things he was being charged for.
If they charged him, they overcharged. They might have overcharged, and that would have led to him getting off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they definitely messed that up.
But I mean, shout out to Diddy though. I mean, hey, he's gonna do a couple years, and I think he's gonna end up like Bill Cosby. Like, I think the whole thing was not so much to put him in bars for life. I think it was one of those things that you have to think about. Like, he'll have all his funds, all his resources are going to be locked up, and guess what's going to happen? He's going to have a hard time like making it at a high level status for the rest of his life, and I think that's more painful than him being locked up for 100 years.
Yeah,
knowing he'll never be Diddy again.
We'll see what happens when he gets out. We'll see what happens when he gets out. But
you know,
it was
I'm
definitely
not-
an intriguing documentary. I definitely recommend you watch it. I thought it was, whether or not it was, it's like any other documentary. It's meant to frame and tell a certain narrative. So whether you believe that narrative or not, it is meant to paint him in a certain light. So there's some.
Do you think it's a comeback for Diddy? The greatest comeback story ever.
I don't know. Let's leave it up to the viewers. What y'all think? Y'all think Diddy's coming back, or is this over for him?
Hey, Mace had that welcome back. I can see Diddy saying, "Hey, look, man, take that. Pause.
No Diddy.
Pause.
Take that, Ray J.
Hey, boo. Hey.
All right, back to the topic of the day. Yeah, we had enough Diddying around. So yeah, we do have a kind of a little bit of a challenging topic here today. So, a lot of people, most people, if you ask them about democracy and how much they should value it, most people hold it with really high regard, right? Capitalism, it's kind of like it's one of those narratives that is kind of like at the backbone foundation of America is capitalism and democracy. And if you overlay that with the fight for equality, a lot of black people, right, not just here in America but around the world, have been told and to believe and taught to believe that this is the path to equality, right? We fight for voting rights, we fight for the access to capital, we fight for access to business ownership, things like that, and we believe that this system, if we do the right things and if we achieve the level, the things that these systems are designed to achieve, then we will achieve equality, right? Like that's the fight for civil rights movement. All these things came out through democracy, right? But we're gonna question that.
Or our sheer effort and not willing to accept BS and be second class citizens. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about that because I think there's a counter argument to say that like democracy, at least the way that we have currently constructed here in America, the way that things are kind of set up right now, and capitalism will not ever actually produce quote unquote fairness, equality, specifically when it comes to racial justice. And so we're just going to talk about that. We're going to break down whether or not that's true, whether or not that's actually possible, what are the goals, all of that today. And so
yeah, I know we were going to talk about this, and we talked about this in our private moments, and it's been a heavy topic. I'm gonna be honest with you, Kofi. Like, what do we want? Like, I mean, what do we really, really want as a people? Like, can somebody tell me that? Because I'm confused. Maybe I didn't go to the convention or the rally. Is it a convention or a rally? And what's the difference? Can somebody tell me what's the difference between a convention and a rally? Because I feel like if I was to be at one of them, I wouldn't know the difference. Like, what's the difference between a convention and a rally or a gathering? Right? Are we gonna do swag surf when we get there? I don't know. But I say this, all jokes aside, right? Like, what do we want? Like, we're 13% of the population. What do we want?
So, what do we want?
Yeah, all tell me what we want in your words.
All right. Now, I'm gonna speak for all black people here in America. No, like y'all know what I'm saying. Like, obviously, I can't speak for everybody, but I think collectively, what black people want is a fair shot, right? They want a fair opportunity. They want to a level playing field. They want equity, whether you want to call it equality, whether you want to call it equity. They want the opportunity for a system that allows them to pursue their dreams, their quote unquote American dreams, in a way that is that everybody else does, right? That is something equivalent to to what their white counterparts have.
So let me ask you this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying we have a perfect system here, but people die trying to get here. This is the best shot you gonna have on planet Earth. And you know what? I was at something this weekend, and I'm attributing this to Warren Buffett. And if it's not him, I'll have to do the research and correct myself next time. They say when you are born in America, you won the ovarian lottery, because you know the term. There's so many eggs in the female body. There's so many sperm that are trying to fight upstream to actually produce and be fertilized and become a child, right? Mm-hmm. So to be born in this country or to come here and to be a citizen, they say you have won the ovarian lottery or you got lucky enough to get it on the back end, right? What is? I'm not saying it's
so
perfect.
you believe that so do you believe that?
Hell
and then do you also believe that that's enough?
Yeah, I believe this is the best shot we got now, and we need to work to get better. I believe there is work to be done to improve equality. But you know what? We talk about fair.
Okay, wait, let's pause that thing.
Fair is a place where they judge animals.
So
that's what fair is.
No.
You go there and eat fried Oreos at a fair.
No. Like there is an actual
fair. What's fair? Tell me what's fair.
But you can't have it both ways. You can't say that there is work to be done.
Yeah.
But what's fair? Like obviously you know that if there's work to be done, then you know somewhere deep down that it's not fair.
But okay, right? You're not to tell your business. You're former military, right?
Yeah.
You're former. Thank you for your service, right?
Right.
You were always told, right, growing up, we know where you did evaluations that you never give anybody a perfect score because there's always room for improvement. America's not a perfect place. It's never going to be a perfect place. But God damn it, I ain't gonna lie to you. This is the damn best shot you got on this planet Earth, on this dirt ball we call Earth.
Your best shot for what?
To make it and have a quote-unquote viable life. Kofi, we sit here in a place that the lights are on. If the brother pay his light bill, nobody gonna turn it off, right? I come from a country that, guess what? You pay your prepaid light bill. I ain't say postpaid. Like you run the electric and you then pay it. Guess what? In certain countries in West Africa, you prepay your light bill. You got electric units, right? That, guess what? They still cut it off because they adequately didn't budget electricity where the water does not run.
But we're not judging any country against perfection. That's not the question. The question is does the system that we currently have, is that a pathway towards quote unquote fairness, which I think we both can understand that. I would say we are all striving to create a more fair society because we know that it's not fair. Whether it was during slavery, during Reconstruction, during Jim Crow, during segregation, during Civil Rights era, and today it's still not fair, right? So we can't just sit here and be like, shut up, it's fine.
Nobody's saying that.
Right. Well, we can't. Well, if we know that it's not fine, then I think it's a fair question as to like, okay, why hasn't it? Why are we still having the same conversations about fairness today than we've had for centuries? Right?
What do we want as black people? We keep talking.
Well, just answer that.
You're saying fairness, but what is fair? What we're saying when it comes to fairness. Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you because I was going to go on a long.
No. Go ahead.
Okay, so fairness is that you want equality. But what I am saying is this. Yes, historically, there has been systemic issues that have caused black, and I'm not going to speak on minorities because each minority has been treated differently. Right? You can acknowledge that, right? If you were Asian that came to this country, if you were Hispanic or Latino and came to this country, you had your own plight and your own fight, right? I'm speaking solely for black people, right? There's been some historical inequities, and there continue to be some remnants and some systemic issues that we face. I acknowledge that wholeheartedly and would never dispute that. Whether you're an activist, a businessman, and you say that, I would agree with you. My only caveat is this. I offer a caveat to that statement. Is this. This is as good as you're going to get on planet Earth right now. So yes, we're trying to perfect it and make a more perfect union. That's the quote-unquote phrase. I'm going to be honest with you. If it is like it is now, I at least got a fighting chance. Right now, guess what? I could take my black ass if I had nothing, and I don't mean to cuss. I could take my black ass if I was starting at zero. I can go get a free education. Guess what? I can go to the community college and go get a trade and get some Pell Grants. I can go get maybe some low interest student loans. I can get a grant at the first generation.
All those things that you're talking about right now are actually being cut.
Yeah, but guess what? If they're being cut, that means their money still. You didn't say eliminated. You said being cut, right? No. Let's do the language, right? Let's do the language. You're saying being cut. Have they been eliminated?
But my point.
No. They're not being eliminated, right? They're being cut.
But they're under attack.
They're
right?
under attack.
So all
right?
the things that you are happy to have the opportunity to take part in.
Yeah.
First of all, it's because people before you fought and were not complacent and were not happy with what they had, and they created opportunities for you to be happy.
True.
So I would argue that we should not be happy with the status quo just because we're here and just because we're just happy to be here, because the next generation, our sons, need us to also to be at least somewhat unhappy with the situation enough to fight for more, because somebody before us fought to get us to the point right now where you can say, hey, this is great.
So you know what that sounds like? That sounds like that quintessential woman is being like, oh, I can do better by myself. That's what that sounds like. It sounds like we're not happy with what we have. And I'm not saying we should be complacent, but what I am saying is this, right? We have to understand that you get to a point where you can only handle so much and you have to operate at your level. So what I mean by is this. Number one, we have some internal black issues, and I'm not trying to move the goalposts. I'm just being frank. We have some internal black issues on how our society and how our culture is that we need to address simultaneously while striving to create a more perfect union and get those opportunities. But I will say this is my personal opinion.
Wait, like what though?
Like what? Oh man, do you really want me to answer that? Do you really want me to answer?
Well, you can't just throw it out there.
Oh,
like
I'm fine with it.
You gotta. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, number one, right? And please clip this, right? I think black people need to go on an individual improvement plan.
Ooh.
Because you know what? I was always told, right? And the thing about it is, our mothers, our ancestors were so prophetic in what they said to us. My mom used to always tell me, before you go out of this house, you got to clean up your own. I could not go out until I cleaned my room and my place on Saturdays. Were you similar?
I get what you're saying.
Don't worry, you're a tether. You're a tether. You're not an FBA, so you don't understand that, right? And for those who care, my mom is African American, so I just want to put that out there. My mom always told me, and my grandmother said, you cannot leave this house until you clean up your own place. So I think we need to subscribe to that philosophy. Our ancestors told us that. So what I mean by that, right? Number one, if you are a black man, do not have multiple children or multiple women if you can help it. That's one. Because the child support system is rigged in a way that may take away your financial prosperity, and it will land you in jail. Number two, and I'm not going to get too deep into this list because I'll put some more out there, right? Number two, obtain the highest level of education you can for free. Do not go into debt. Do not, because debt will create a slave, and then you'll be working menial jobs, and you won't be able to be in the fight. These are things I'm saying right here are things you can do as an individual. Because you talk about striving for more, Kofi, right? And I don't mean to overtalk you. You're talking about striving for more. Most people can't operate past their own self and their own day-to-day life. So that things I'm giving them now is things they can do to contribute to the fight without being this not being this intellectual or in this ivory tower saying that, well, I'm going to fight for black people. Nah, worry about your own goddamn self.
All right, so let me interject.
Go ahead,
let me interject.
I'll give them two more after that. I got five, but I'm gonna give them one at the end.
I think what you're talking about are two things that are mutually exclusive.
Okay.
I think you can have a conversation about things that we need to fix, that has nothing to do with what the system that we're in, right? Because there's statistical data to show that you could be the most upright citizen, educated, got all your degrees and everything else in the world. Statistically, you're still going to make less than your white counterpart. You're still going to have less opportunity than your white counterpart. You're still going to get pulled over by police more than your white counterpart, right? So all of these things still exist in no matter how much you do to make yourself a better person, right? So those two things are two separate conversations.
But that's not going to change unless we're willing to do what we need to do. That's not going to change. I chalk it up to the game.
But I'm saying like that's where we don't have to get comfortable with it is what it is. You're in a great situation. So just be happy with the great situation because you were born in this rich country. Like, no, like, yeah, there's still things that are problems. Do you know that by it is estimated studies like that by 2053, black medium household income is going to be 0.
And that's our fault.
That's our fault?
It's part of our fault.
Okay.
It's part of our fault. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's some systemic issues that we are facing. And I will not degrade or I will not downplay that argument. But guess what? There's certain things that we can do as individuals. Like I said, we want to have these arguments against society. Most people can't figure out what they're going to put on the plate tomorrow. Or guess what? On your plate, guess what you're eating? Bad food that's going to give you a disease that's going to check you out of here. Because and this is number 3 if I could, right? Before I let you go back to it. Number 3, we need to have more black families and black babies. Because we've been 13% of the population since 1900. Our Latino brothers went from under 10, and I may be a little bit wrong on this one, even though immigration has also been a factor, they outpassed us at 16. Yes, there's immigration, but we have been statistically between 10 and 13 for over 100 years. That goes back to trying to have black babies. Who gonna pay for these babies? It don't matter who gonna pay for them. We having them anyway. And guess what? Guess what you're doing? Guess what you
hold on now.
If you don't want them, guess what they do? Terminate.
Hold on, you can't tell people to have more babies with them. Who gonna pay? Are you gonna pay for these black babies?
No, I'm not gonna pay for anybody, baby. I'm taking care of my goddamn self.
Well, then you can't be telling people to need to have more babies. Like the probably a good thing that we're not having more babies because we ain't got no more money.
And guess what? We will be at 0 by 2058 or whatever date you quote in mid-century.
That has to do with the household income. That has nothing to. Matter of fact, that has nothing to do with making babies. I'm just saying that's a different. The point.
It does, because I can pass on my household wealth. That does, because guess what? Right now, millennials, if you look at it, the birth rate and the replacement rate for millennials is lower than it was for Gen X, and it's been propagated down. So you're telling me in order to have a higher median income, it's easier for me if I have kids, right, and I have a medium income, and I say, hey, I have a trust or a will, I can pass you down some assets, that increases their net worth. But if we're not having children, there's nobody to pass down to, and it goes into the ether, that's what happens.
No. That just means that our replacement rate. So, the percentage of the population has to do, first of all, it has to do with the replacement rate. So are we having more than 2 kids per family?
Yeah, to replace the people that are dying.
Right.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with how much money you're making, right? So like,
but it feeds into it.
You're actually going to have less money if you have more kids. If you have 4 kids as opposed to 2 kids, now you got to split that same money that you were going to feed the 2 kids with 4 kids, and maybe 2 of those kids can't go to college because you can't afford it.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. In this great country of America, you can find a way to go to school. There is ways to go to school in this country for free. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Okay.
There is.
So you're telling me everybody out there with $100,000 worth of debt, they just chose not to.
No, it was. I'll be honest with you. they made a choice to go to a certain school and pursue a certain degree. But if you want to go to college and you are unbiased,
you can.
If you are unbiased on where you go, I'll give you a prime example. Shout out to the great Virginia State. They had a program for many years where you lived in 25 miles of the school and you had a certain GPA, and it wasn't high. It was very easy. You could have went to school for free. But guess what people did? I didn't want to go to HBCU because I want to go to my school of choice. Well, what do you want? You want what you want, or you want what's necessary in order for you to hit a benchmark in life? Hey, look, real talk, let's be honest with you. When you struggling, you really don't have time to be picking and choosing. Let's be honest with you. A lot of us ate out of the dollar store because that's the only money we had. A lot of us ate things we didn't want to eat because that's all we had. So it's about life. You have to make choices, Kofi.
All right. Let's circle back to let's see if we can get back to the
capital.
Let's see if we can establish a common baseline here.
Do we
likewise?
You love me back? Okay.
Likewise, brother.
All right.
Do we believe there's work to be done there's work to be done to promote equity in America?
Yeah, of course. It's always going to be.
Then so the question now is, what system is best suited to put us on that right path?
The one we in now.
But that hasn't been the case. So you think the system is fine, but we're the problem.
No. What I'm saying is that anything's human touch, it has imperfections, right? And if you know, you know, right? If you read the Communist Manifesto, you have the proletariats and the bourgeoisie, right? And they talk about how the bourgeoisie will always be the owning class, the ruling class, and the proletariats will always be like the working class. And it talks about capitalism inherently is exploitative. Like, capitalism is to capitalize. If you look at it, what is capitalizing on the environment, on people, whatever the case may be.
On usually poor people.
Well, whatever.
And guess who's disproportionately poor?
Minorities or blacks. Blacks, if you want to hit it for this term and this reason for the podcast.
So what you just said,
yes,
without me prompting, is that we're in a system that is meant to exploit us.
Okay, yeah, but what other system has done right? Give me an example of a system that's done right.
but so long as we're on that same page that we're in a system that is designed to exploit us.
Yeah.
Then I think it's a fair question as to maybe this ain't the great system.
But what do we want? What system do we want?
Okay, so now we've
answer that for me?
So what we've done here, I should have went to law school, I swear.
Yeah, please do.
We've established.
You had went to a HBCU law school?
I went to HBCU.
NCCU has a great law school. Shout out to NCCU.
So we've established that the system isn't fair.
Yeah.
We've established that there's work to be done.
Yeah.
And we've established that the system is actually designed to keep us down.
Yeah.
So
now, hold on, time out. You're saying when it's designed to keep us down. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Well, to exploit us. We're in a capitalist system, and capitalism is inherently designed to exploit us.
No, it exploits anybody.
But
we so happen to be the ones that are easier to exploit.
Okay.
Because of how we came here, how the system was set up, and all that stuff.
That's all fair.
Agree with you.
That's all fair.
Right?
I think now you're closest to my point of view, which is that the system is messed up, and the system needs that, and this might not be the best system for us. Okay, now I think that's at least progress in this conversation.
Would you give me progress for Christmas? Hey, Kofi, what you want? I want progress. Man, you can keep that shit.
No, but I think that's the crux of the conversation, right? The system this system does work for some things. It does, but it tends to skew towards the wealthy. It tends to skew towards white. And so long as you're black in America, yes, the system is not necessarily inherently designed for you because it never was, right? So now when you overlay to me, what's his brother name? Eddie Glaude Jr., who wrote Democracy in Black. That's the book for the day, by the way. Democracy in Black. So what his main point is that there's a value gap, right? So like yes, there's financial issues, there's this and the other, but there's a value gap, right? And so in that, his point is that America has always devalued black life, right? And so with democracy, democracy is always meant to give the benefit, the prime is meant to primarily benefit the majority, right? So like if you're a minority in a system that values the majority opinion, democracy gave us Jim Crow laws. Democracy gave us segregation. Democracy gave us redlining. Democracy gave us everything that is set up right now. That is, democracy gave us oppression, right? Those are all things that people voted on and were happy with, and we're still in that same system. So I think it's fair for us to question, well, is this the right thing for us, or should we try to figure out a different system, or is there another system out there that could actually benefit us more, that has a different value system, right? Because the value system in democracy and capitalism is the majority and money. We ain't got neither one of those.
You said a lot. And yes, I do agree with many points that you mentioned. My difference with you, brother, and I say brother because you said in another episode when people say brother, you got skeptical.
Nah, we crossed that. We crossed that lane. We crossed that plane. That's if I just met you.
My brother.
That's if I just met you. If I just met you, call me brother.
Hey,
Nah,
brother.
get out of here with that bull.
Okay. My issue is this. Well, my difference is this because I don't have an issue with you. I love you. No Diddy. We have this romantic view of this system that's going to allow blacks to flourish. What is it? Nobody can answer that. Is it communism? No, because communism, oftentimes, if you look at the examples on this planet, has never been run right. Whether you look at Russia, you look at Cuba, you look at North Korea, it always gets stuck at a certain point where the inequities become very stark, like it does in capitalism to a degree, because there is a ruling class and a ruling family. You know, you can look at, Castro. You can look at Fidel. You can look at Kim Jong Un. You can even look at
You look at China.
Look at China, right? He's trying to be in power. He had a conversation with Putin. It was a viral clip. He's trying to live to be 150 so he can stay in power. So we talk about these idealistic systems. Let me say this to my brothers and sisters, right? FBA included. I love my FBA folk. Is I don't even think we know what we want. We're going through life trying to figure out what we want, which is nothing wrong with it. But until we know what we want, I think we have to do what we can. And that's where I'm at now. And I think a lot of black people have to realize that, look, I understand you want to score the touchdown, but kick the field goals while you got them, right? You a Commanders fan. A couple of them field goals might have won some games. But guess what? You wanted to go for it on 4th and 1.
I don't want to talk about football.
It don't matter.
Football,
I'm an Eagles fan. I'm an Eagles fan.
I don't want to talk about football no more. I don't even like football no more.
Okay, and that shout out to Fight for ODC. Life oftentimes is not as complicated as we make it. Oftentimes it's very simple, and the lessons that our ancestors and elders taught us have meaning beyond just the simple life events that they put them in, like cleaning and cooking and things like that. But going back to it, right? When we talk about a more perfect system, I just don't know what else. America has been the greatest democracy-like experience on this planet as it stands now. It may be something in the future when I'm long gone, I won't know about it, right? And this experiment has worked the best it could given the time it had. And nobody can take me off that square. It is not perfect. But you as an immigrant, my father as an immigrant, can come to this country and carve out a basic niche of existence that's fairly okay.
Yeah.
What is
There's
wrong with that?
There's plenty to love about America,
Yeah.
right? But there's also plenty to criticize about America.
That's true, and we have the right. The
Right.
fact that you can criticize it shows
Right.
the greatness of America. Because
No,
nobody's
that's-
walking through
don't-
that door, busting down, whooping our ass.
Don't compare America to the worst countries on the planet and then say that, oh, that's why we're great. Just because we have freedom of speech, don't pat America needs to be patted on the back because you have freedom of speech, right? Like
say
a
you pat her-
lot of countries have freedom of speech.
I say you pat her and give her a drink.
America,
done well.
don't act like we invented freedom of speech over here. All right, I'm just saying, like, it's great.
But we share
I'm not-
share one of the
and I'm
highest
not-
degree of speech.
Yeah, tell that to what's his face that just got canceled. What was that?
Colbert?
Colbert and all the other people.
That's a
we're
recent-
definitely at an inflection point.
That's a recent development.
I'm
but
not-
for 200 and like whatever
Yeah.
years Trump ain't been here,
Yeah,
let's
well,
be honest with you. And no disrespect.
There's a lot of people that are in prison or were in prison, black people who would argue that we ain't had that much freedom of speech. All right, like, you know, when black people, freedom of bear arms, Black Panthers, a lot of these so-called freedoms are freedom for white people. Let's just be real about that. We never shared those same freedoms, and we still don't.
Yeah, historically,
But-
I can agree to that. And in current day, there are some
there's-
things that are very uneasy when we come to race relations. So I
Yeah,
definitely see your
from the
point.
birth of this country, a lot of the freedoms and constitutional rights and all these other things were never really intended for us.
But who does
you
it
know,
right? Who
but-
does it right?
So
I want to know.
There is no perfect system. I'm not out here. I'm not even necessarily advocating for us to change the system. What I'm saying is, I don't think a lot of people would even dare question whether or not this is the same, whether or not this is the right system or this is the only system. I think we get to the point where I think in order for us to get better, we should be able to open up the book and say, all right, what is out there?
Yeah,
what
you
other
gonna open up the book
systems
and nobody
are,
can read it right
are
in
out
it,
there?
'cause we don't even read.
But
Read. You said that.
Yeah, but I think most people, if you ask them, will resort to some of the talking points that this is the greatest country ever. Don't you dare question the system, right? And I don't think that's valuable either,
No,
right?
it's
Because
not.
we don't necessarily have to be in like they talked about Mamdani like he was the Antichrist, right? Because he was
Daddy Trump.
because he was a socialist Democrat, right? All those, he was, you know, I mean, yeah, so, you know, so like
sat
he was
down
gonna,
with Daddy, too.
right?
Yeah, he
and
sat
all of
down
a
with
sudden,
Daddy.
and all of a sudden now he's fine, right? You know, but prior to the election,
That's my
he
point.
was gonna ruin America, right?
You made my point there. Somebody invoked fear so much. It's like, we're gonna change the system because the system don't work. And guess what he did? He kissed the ring of the system proverbially. And guess what?
But it took,
He's
but it
no
took,
different.
but it took Mamdani, it took somebody like Mamdani, it took somebody like Bernie Sanders and people who are socialist Democrats or people who further to the left to say, nah, this system is bull.
But what have they
Right?
done? What have? And correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm not trying to speak ill on Senator Bernie and Mayor Mamdani or whatever. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Outside of maybe. Well, Mamdani hasn't done anything yet, and Bernie's been around for a minute.
Well,
What things have they changed that's been so radical?
Well, I'm not gonna go through. I'm not here to. I don't even know Bernie Sanders' record, but I know he's
Yeah.
one man, right? But I'm saying like the
He's
idea.
one man that thinks
but the
different.
but the idea that you can and should question the status quo and question the systems and question whether or not that this is working for you and try to. And then try to achieve something different or try to transfer it to something that is more effective for us and stop thinking about everybody else and just think, well, what are we getting out of it and what can we do and what system out there? Is it socialism? Is it another version of democracy that actually could promote better equality? Because that's what socialism is, at least in principle. Its aim is to promote equity and equality or whatever, right? So like, why shouldn't we be fighting for that? You know?
Be fighting for what? Socialism?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm not even arguing for it. I'm just saying that, like, we shouldn't be like, oh no, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? Like, why shouldn't we have those conversations, especially among black people? It's not like this is working for us that great. That's my point.
Because most people can't get past the day of tomorrow. You're asking people to have these super intellectual art. Not saying you. This people. We want people who have these super intellectual arguments to think past the day of tomorrow, when oftentimes they can't get past the next hour in their life. And that's when I was making a point earlier, is that if we really want improvement in a black society of tangible things we can do, there's many tangible things we can do in our individual lives that will improve the quality of black people as a race.
And I 100% agree with you with that. I just feel like that's a different conversation.
No, I believe, like
right?
you said, we can have. I mean, it's just no different at the Thanksgiving table. You got turkey, which is protein. You got, I don't know, stuffing. That's a carb. It's all part of the same meal. It's the same thing. We can have it because this conversation feed. That's, we call it Thanksgiving meal, but it has different types of macronutrients. It's no different in having this conversation of how can we improve black people. We have different sources of nutrients or issues that we need to look at.
You like cranberry sauce?
Man, no. I don't do no cranberry sauce. But I'll tell you what I do like. I like some sweet potato pie. That's what I just learned how to make sweet potato pie this past.
Yeah.
I made it
Hey,
myself.
I tell you what, like cranberry sauce, like homemade, like made from scratch, the best thing ever.
Okay, I thought you were about to say
get that
green
stuff
bean
out of
casserole.
the can. You get that stuff out of the can. It's nasty.
Okay, I thought you was about to say I like green bean casserole.
Hey man, can I? I don't mind a little raisins in my.
Man, shout out to the raisins and the potato salad.
In my, I got a low key. I don't mind a little raisins in my potato salad. Shout out to all the white people that put the raisins in potato salad.
Hey man,
Hey look, I low key. I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
Okay.
I like a little sweet and savory mix.
Hey man, you know they're gonna kill you in the comments.
I like a little sweet and
They gonna
savory
be
mix.
like,
It's my little secret.
They're gonna be like, this brother here. No, but so I get what you're saying, but if I could on the Thanksgiving analogy, right? It is a meal. The meal is comprised of different parts. And I believe that honestly the conversation to push us forward in this country or to improve the quality of our lives in this country has to be many parts, but they're all a part of one meal, right? So we can have the conversation of saying, yes, there have been some systemic and historic racism in this country, and nobody out of it, in a shadow of a doubt, can speak otherwise. Black people were treated inhumanely historically, and if it wasn't for the efforts of our forefathers and ancestors, we would not be here today and have these rights.
And I guess I'm just saying that the job isn't done. The job isn't done, so we shouldn't be satisfied. And I think part of that job getting done should be like looking back, like, okay, it's been 250 years. Do we want to just keep doing this? Because we're actually going backwards. Like,
but what power do we have to make that choice?
So the reason I brought up the whole thing about the 2053 and our medium household actually hitting zero is to show that in a lot of ways we're going backwards. We're actually losing.
But there's statistics, Kofi, that talk about how we have increased our graduation rate from high school, and the amount of black people with college degrees have increased. We talk about the amount of blacks that have stock portfolios of a certain amount. All that has increased over the past 10, 15 years.
Yeah, but relative to white people, we're actually losing ground. So it's like because our base, our floor is here, white people's floor is here.
Okay.
So when we increase and they increase, it's like when the unemployment rate right now is like what, 4.6? Guess what it is for black people? Is I forget the actual number right now, but like it's double.
Okay.
That, right? So it's like, yeah, we can always increase wealth, we can increase this, we can increase that, but that's because we're coming from a lower floor.
But it's the demon of the statistics. Being 13% of the population has a positive and negative aspect. When you have quite a few who are earning a lot with a smaller population, it's going to skew it to being more positive. But then when you have a few that are laggards is going to drag it down. You got to realize white Americans are still 58% of the population. So in order for us to spread our statistics and we have more, it be more evenly skewed, and you get accurate statistics, you would need more of a black population. That's why I was saying we need to have more we need to have more black babies, because if I could, right? The thing that really gets me fired up per se, right? I don't normally get fired up for too much stuff. Is that most of the issues we have can be solved with simple conversations. We like to have these ivory tower super intellectual conversations, or oftentimes a simple answer. You want power in this country? Have more black people so you can be 15, 16, 17% of the population. Because our Hispanic brothers and sisters, they are about to lap us in the next 100 years and be almost 20% of the population, and we've been the same the entire time. You be like, well, immigration. Well, hey, if we ain't having more immigrants from black countries, we're gonna need to find a way to have more power, because there's power in numbers. Well, the more people you have, the more power you have. That's basic since the beginning of time.
Well, part of the reason that this whole white people in general are up in a little tizzy right now is because they know that it's projected that they will become the minority at some point, in the future, right? So, but we can't worry about that. Like that's like we
need to worry about.
I mean, I think that's a fair point, I guess. But at the same time, like, yeah, like you still got to worry about like your pockets first. And if you can't afford to have that baby, don't have that baby, right? We talk about being responsible, like,
or if you're gonna have that baby in a responsible way. Don't have two kids with two separate women and then going having to pay child support, because now your economic viability has decreased. And guess what? You don't pay child support. Guess what happened? They put your black ass in jail.
Well, see, but I think
you ain't going to prison. You going to jail. Can you imagine what you in here for? Child support.
See, but okay,
that is not funny.
If I could, I mean, there's a narrative out there that black fathers aren't around, right? But there's also that's also a false narrative that's put out.
And I'm not saying that.
Yeah, well, I mean, because
you can be on child support and be around.
Yeah, well,
that's not mutually exclusive. You can be an active father and still be on child support.
The one thing I want to talk about, like just to kind of break into like the diaspora for a minute, right?
Sure.
First of all, acting like our democracy is that great. We're suppressing the black vote in America, but we want to promote democracy somewhere else. And then when we even attempt to do that, we're actually kind of lying, honestly, right? We're not being honest. It's very disingenuous, because when countries vote for who they want, we supported 22 coups in Africa since the Cold War. Since the Cold War, right? Like we supported like active assassinations, all types of stuff, right? We've done some dirty stuff in the rest of the diaspora. And that's what the people of that country voted these people in, right? So, like, on the one hand, it's kind of like how our forefathers in America talked about democracy and talked about freedom and talked about all these things while they had slaves. We talk about all these things, democracy abroad, while we're actually suppressing democracy, I just feel like it's a little hypocritical. Not all that. It's very hypocritical of us, and it's something that we need to check ourselves on.
Yeah, it is. It is. And like I was saying earlier, reaching out to diaspora, even if you were to go to the continent of Africa, they don't have any. Because there was a conversation once upon a time, in early post-colonial Africa in the 50s, 60s, and in the 70s, is African countries better with a one-party state versus a multi-party state? Because the countries were so new, did you want to have there being shifting political parties and that might limit the continuity? Because think about it, a lot of times those countries were so new, they needed basic services and basic financial governmental departments to have continuity from each administration, and that wasn't guaranteed if you went from one party to another, because it was just so new to them. So nobody has it right. I'm never advocating that America has it right, but I will say this: out of the countries in this world, America is damn near top 5, if not top 3, when it comes to it being the best thing smoking. Shout out to that album Young Dro made many years ago. It's the best thing for this world now, not because it is the best by attribute. It is the best attempt right now as it stands.
I think, and
it's an
I hate
attempt
to,
in democracy.
I hate. Okay, so statistically,
Yeah.
we're ranked like 38th in the world when it comes to like ranking of democracies. We're not that great.
Okay.
All right,
Hey,
we're actually
enlighten me.
no, like according to like Democracy Index, we're ranked 38th in the world as far as just democracy is concerned. And when it comes to actually going back to our original questions, how well does our democracy actually promote equality? We're right next to China, a communist country. Right? So, like, yeah, like, we could say these things, these narratives about how we're the best, but really, if you really actually dig into the research, the data actually doesn't prove that. I'm not saying America has a lot of things going for it, but, like, we don't always have to be the best. All right, we don't always have to say we're the best. Like there are a lot of countries out there doing a lot of great things when it comes to protecting minorities, when it comes to promoting equity, when it comes to even promoting democracy, and we're just not always the best just because we say so. We could say it all day, but it's just not always the case.
I would like to see those good examples because I've, and I'm not saying this because I know, I'm saying this out of ignorance and just off of
democracy index. We're ranked 38th.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just like the HDI, the
36,
human development.
like
It's like the HDI, the human development index or whatever. How every data can be skewed a certain way. So I don't want to get into that argument. It's like, well, where they pull this from? Where they pull this from? Because we can have some
They've been going. This is a reliable source. It's something that they do it every year. We're actually ranked as a flawed democracy at this point. You know,
that's good. I mean, it's so, like when people, and I'm not saying you, but when people bring up these statistical, you know, they be like, oh man, the human growth, the human development index, the democracy index, whatever. I attribute them. I put them in the same category as the Hague and international war crimes. This is an international war crime. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing this, but guess what? People still do it. And the analogy I'm making is that you may view something in that is generally bad or perceived as bad or perceived as a crime, but people just don't subscribe to it because guess what? Everybody has a different view of democracy in a sense. But if I could just make this one point, we do not have to be the best, but at least here you have an opportunity, and you may have to spill it in blood, you may have to spill it in other ways. You have the opportunity and the freedom to fight for what you believe in. Yes, there are people that have been killed in protests. Yes, there have been people that have been locked up for what they've been fighting for. But one thing about America, and I will not get off of this square, is that as long as this country is around, there is a chance to improve. I will go to the grave thinking that. This country is built on trying to get better as it goes along.
And I will say, add to that, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to fight for it to be better, we have to admit that it's not. We have to admit the flaws, and we have to come to terms with that first.
Are you ready to fight, Kofi? Let me ask you, are you ready to fight?
I've actually spent a lot of years fighting. I'm not. I want to say I mean, we could argue. Arguably, what we're doing right now is a form of fighting, right? Like, arguably, what I'm doing right now is a form of speaking out and calling for things to be better. Like, that's a form of it. But I mean, I've actually been on the ground. For those of you who don't know, like, I've actually spent several years fighting for racial justice in NAACP and other organizations. So, like, I'm not.
Do you think your brothers and sisters are going to fight right beside you?
Oh, I know that a lot of them won't, but a lot of them will. You know, so like it depends on what you want to call fighting. But yeah, I've been there. I've been on the ground with it. I feel like it's a very necessary fight. You know, like I wish more people would fight. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, we can't just say like America's great and that's it. Like, we have to say, like, no, America is flawed. If you don't believe that America is flawed and you don't believe there's room to improve, then you just accept where things are and things never actually get improved. Like criticism doesn't mean you don't love and appreciate a place or anything. It actually it means the opposite. Sometimes silence is when you don't give a shit, right? When you actually are fighting and yelling and protesting and complaining and whatever, like that's because you care, right? When you stop caring is when you start being silent. To me, in my opinion, and, and so I just don't want things to be misconstrued that just because me, especially me being an immigrant, like I'm not appreciative of what America is. Like I'm fighting for something that I care about, and I criticize it because I love it. So
criticism without a plan of improvement and action is meaningless. We can criticize all we want, but if there's not a plan to improve it or a plan to actually like make things better, then what's the point of it? Yes, you have the freedom of speech to flap your gums and spit hot air out and actually make the physical motion of talking, but I think we can't conflate those two things. You can complain, yes, you have the right to, but if you're doing nothing about it, you're just as worse as the system. You're actually perpetuating the system of just doing nothing. And that's
we could agree to disagree on that one. Because
yeah,
I don't.
I mean, we can talk, but let's be real with you. Like, we can agree to disagree, but if we're going to criticize and do nothing, then what's the point? Because you really just laying on your back talking.
Well, if for me personally,
and I'm not blaming you.
No, well, I mean, for me personally, like I've said, like I've been there, done that. Like I've led the NAACP organization that actually won an award for being the best branch in the country like a couple years ago, right?
Congrats.
Like we've worked to fight to change laws. We fought. I've been, when I say I've been on the ground, like I've been there. Like I've not only been with NAACP, I've been, actually changed laws. Like I'm not somebody who's just talking, you know what I'm saying?
No,
so
and I'm not saying
so
you are.
I've been there, done that. I should probably do a little segue. If you guys are interested, check out my book, Bull in the China Shop, Evolution of a Racial Justice Activist, where I actually talk about my journey into civil rights and into interracial justice.
Boy, you still getting royalty checks, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get that. No, not really. But, maybe now I will. But
Is
so
it on
I'm not,
Amazon?
It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Hey, get the brother a check before Christmas.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not just talking, but I mean, even talking is a form of protest. That's what protest is. Like, that's to say, like, marching ain't nothing, right? Like, if you say, like, talking ain't nothing, well, marching ain't nothing. Like, Martin Luther King, like, we still quote his I Have a Dream speech, right? Like, that was talking, right? So, like,
Martin Luther King got his ass whooped.
Yeah, but my point is, like, he got his ass whooped for talking.
Yeah, and he
got killed for talking.
Yeah, but you're right. And
so talking is something.
He actually did boycotts and demonstrations and things like that. So there was a lot of action behind that.
Exactly.
I just think today is more convenient because of how the way our society is. We're more remote in the sense of how the way we do things. So I can sit behind my keyboard, I can sit behind my phone and talk about these things and not put in the work. And I just want to make sure that if we want, like I was always told, people treat you how you treat yourself. That's why I go back to the lessons that our elders and ancestors. Life is not hard. People complicate life so much. People treat you how you treat yourself. If people see us in the street and we don't treat each other as brother, right? Guess what they're going to do? They're going to have less respect for us. I'm not saying that black people, we should have this harmonious, monolithic viewpoint or views of each other. But what I am saying is this. If you wake up tomorrow and you like, man, I looked at Kofi's podcast and I'm inspired to do more. Nobody's asking you to march. Nobody's asking you to go out there and take up this huge argument against society that can be mind-blowing, right? Because there's so many angles to this whole black improvement thing. What I would recommend that each black person do is deal with your own house first. That's what you can do. If you really want to make this a better country, take care of your own. Do the basic things on your own first before you flap your gums. Take care of your own shit, right? That's what I'm advocating. If you really want a better country, be a better person. Individually. What's wrong with that? We want to talk about, well, I want to get out and march. but you ain't paid your dang on bills. Can't march if you ain't paid your bills, because then you're going to get evicted. Pay Big Mama taxes. Don't sell her house. Guess what? That's a piece of ownership. Right? I'm being real. Like, we get so caught up in, I want to get online and I want to be an activist. How about you take care of your damn business first?
Who's to say they not?
I'm not saying they are, but I'm telling you.
Well, you are saying they not.
But I'm giving an action plan. What I'm saying is this. If you don't know what to do, start with yourself. That's all I'm saying. If you don't know what to do.
I'm gonna give some other advice.
Okay.
If you want to change something, go out and do something. Go out, run for office. Go out and but I guess first
run for office, and I don't even. I'm eating high blood pressure food. I'm eating bacon. I'm eating bacon and dollar store gas station food. I get in the office, I have a heart attack within a year. I made a big change.
But Trump eat McDonald's and KFC.
And
he's the president.
But what your mama told you back in the day?
Why are we bringing up
people? Worry about yourself.
Why are you bringing up people's food?
That's what I'm saying. Like, the lessons the ancestors gave us is the easiest thing you can live. You worry about Trump. You need to worry about that. You need to worry about being on Zolafran and all the high blood pressure.
I only brought up that because you're talking about food, and I'm saying the president of the country has the word he has a Coca-Cola button on his desk. What? I'm just saying those are not relevant to what we're talking about, which is. No, like I get what you're saying. Like, you need to take care of yourself, but that is a separate conversation from fighting for justice and fighting for equality. And I would say that, like, yeah, if you might have some personal stuff you got to work on, but like, yeah, if you want to change something in this country, I highly encourage you to do that. Run for office. Fight the system, and first of all, believe that it doesn't have to be the way that it currently is. Like, it does not have to be, the system that we're in doesn't necessarily have to be the end all be all. If you want to change the system, imagine it and find a way to do your grassroots, your actions and things like that to find more of like-minded people around you. Nobody thought that Obama could be president. Nobody thought that Mamdani could be president. No, like, these things sound crazy at first, but you can do it.
Kofi, I love you, brother. And I know we're about to hit the end of this podcast. I don't disagree with you, but I'm just saying, the lessons our ancestors gave us and our elders gave us ring so true, and I don't understand why we run away for it. We want to complicate life so much. What was your best friend growing up? What was his name?
Irwin.
Irwin, right? What your mama tell you? Don't worry about what Irwin got over there. You worry about what you got to do. That's what your mama probably would tell you in her wisdom. And that's what I'm saying. We can't worry about. Yes, you can look over there, but that ain't true. We ain't got.
That is not the same. If Irwin's getting his ass beat, I'm there for him.
Okay, yeah, but guess what? Your rules is different in your house. You can't do what Irwin do. If Irwin had a curfew at 12 and you got a curfew at 11. Your mama said be in by 11. You can't wear what Irwin do. And that's what I'm saying. Like, why do we complicate life so much as black people? We want to have these huge, philosophical, high-level, wave-top, cloud
I think there's definitely some room for overlap here. Yeah, you got to take care of yourself first. You got to, but at the same time, it's not mutually exclusive. You don't have to take care of yourself or take care of your community. You can actually focus on your community and take care of yourself. So it's not a mutually exclusive argument. I'm with you. You know, we could there's something that we could do together. It's just you know,
one of my favorite books, and I pulled up the quote here because I was losing. It's As a Man Thinketh, right? He said, your inner thoughts directly create your outer reality, character, and destiny. Right? Think about that. How you think about yourself is what you manifest on your outward appearance, right? So I need our brothers and sisters to think of themselves as more than just less than. But how you do that is when you look good, you feel good, right? And we need to do the things that's going to make ourselves feel better. So, Kofi,
Word.
I love you.
Love you too, bro.
I love you to death, man. And if you think that you're going to find answers in the world of this great democracy and you're going to find a shining example, please let me know, because I want to go visit and do an on-location podcast, because I ain't seen it.
I told you there's 36 other countries above us, man.
Who? Switzerland? You want to go be cold? You want to go to the Netherlands?
I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying like if you ask the question,
yes.
I'm giving you the answer.
Can you give me one country? Give me one.
I don't got them memorized,
Okay.
but I mean, there's like we're literally with like number 38 on the list, so like that is what it is. I didn't make the list. Don't shoot the messenger.
I'm just saying I agree with Warren Buffett when he said we won the ovarian lottery to be here in America.
Well, yeah, that's Warren Buffett.
Yeah,
if I was him, I would feel the same way too.
Yeah.
Richest motherfucker in the world.
Yeah. But shoot, guess what? At least here, I have a swinging chance.
If I had $100 million, I would think the same thing too.
But here I got a puncher's chance.
But if I'm working at McDonald's right now and I can't afford to go to the doctor, I might not feel that way.
Understood. But guess what? At least there's a doctor who's competent enough to take care of you. You may be in medical debt, but Lord Jesus,
yeah,
there's a doctor. You know how many countries you go to, the doctor's incompetent?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up, man. We've been going. This has been a good one. This has been a good one.
But look, everybody, we just want to tell you happy holidays from Sankofa Sessions. We want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, and all other holidays.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah, I told you I have a disdain. Don't mean I want to ruin it for everybody else.
Happy Kwanzaa, everybody.
Yeah. Right, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our show. And shout out once again to our brother
Demetrius, Resist Booksellers, and the book for today again is Democracy in Black by Eddie Claude Jr.
Shout out to Eddie. Buy his book, especially if you're gonna buy from here. And like I said, before we go, black people, we got a lot of work to do. Start with yourself before you start with anything else. That's just me. Love y'all. Y'all take care.
Peace.
Peace.
Bensound.com